The UHD 730 are pretty entry level even for integrated graphics, at least compared to something like the Vega 8 or even the UHD 770 or 750. So what will happen if we try to play at native 4K with them? Well, I tested it, but before that I'll just hop quickly over the specs of my test machine. This is my main PC. It features the i5-11400, which includes the UHD 730, 32GB of 3200 MHz dual channel RAM, and don't worry, that 3070 is disabled for today. And all on the ROG B560A motherboard from ASUS. So let's get into the results. First off, Halo 2 Classic in the Master Chief Collection. I apologize for the gameplay recordings in this video. Playing in 4K as well as recording stressed the little 11400 quite a bit, so I had to rely on the capture feature from the game bar. It had the lowest impact on performance, but there was still quite an impact in some games, especially Minecraft, as you will see later. Anyway, Halo 2. It's one of my all-time favorite games. I tested it in MCC, how I already said, with classic graphics and all the settings set to performance. 30 FPS was the average. It felt playable, not much input lag. It's an original Xbox title, so not really a surprise there. I decided to test Minecraft for Windows / the Bedrock version. From my experience, it's quite a bit low-end friendlier than the Java edition. It performed alright. In my old realm, it achieved 55 FPS on average, with decent 1% and 0.1% lows of 44 and 13. There was quite a huge performance drop while recording, as you might see in the background, which I apologize for. I had every setting enabled and the chunks set to 16. Portal 1 and 2 are also on the list that achieved the playable state. Both a bit older, which is a trend for today, because realistically you are not going to play any new releases at native 4K with these integrated graphics, unfortunately. Portal 1 achieved the playable 43 FPS on average, although the frame rate was quite unstable. When looking through a Portal, for example, the FPS dropped quite a bit to like the low 20s. Portal 2 had a bit more stable frame rate, although a bit lower, with 36, with all the settings set to low. The original release of Vice City performed decently. 40 FPS on average, with 23 and 18 for the 1% and 0.1% lows. With every setting cranked, not a surprise here, it's a PS2 / Xbox era title. It can be basically played on anything today. Valorant can be a fun as well as stressful competitive game. It's optimized to be basically playable on a toaster. At native 4K, everything set to low, it averaged 41 FPS. Not sure if I would play an esports title like this, but it was definitely playable. Not a ton of input lag, so it didn't feel bad at all. Now to a couple of games that unfortunately didn't make it. Unsurprisingly, the definitive editions of the 3D era GTA games did not make it. The frame rate was in the single digits. Same goes for GTA 4 unsurprisingly, and Overwatch, which kinda surprised me. But the game that was the most interesting was Halo CE. Same performance settings as Halo 2 before, the game was completely unplayable. Halo CE ran on my older Surface Pro with the UHD 615, I believe, without any issues. So not sure what's going on here, the frame rate was in the single digits, and for whatever reason the frame rate was a couple of FPS higher with anniversary graphics, which I don't know what to say even about that. It's maybe a driver related issue, but I've tried multiple and the performance was always the same. So just weird. You have reached the end of the video. I thank you for watching. This video took way too long for me to make. Would I recommend playing at native 4K with the UHD 730? Probably not, but it's definitely playable depending on the title, especially if it's like an older 360 or original Xbox/PS2 era game. If you disliked the video, leave a dislike. I wish you well and goodbye.